It's the all-new Sports Visions with Dale Williams and DJ Jones, your 1980 national champions. 1980 and 81 SEC champions, two damn good dogs.
Welcome to the all-new Sports Visions. I'm DJ Jones alongside my good friend and traveling partner, Dale Williams. How are you, sir?
What's up, player?
Man, we're into this thing, man. This football season is definitely in full effect, and I know I've been saying that, but really, it's ready and rolling.
It's ready and rolling, DJ. It's all downhill from here. Just one thing about football season, when it gets started, it goes just like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, coming up in just a little bit, we're going to have an opportunity to talk about the SEC, the SEC West. I mean, it's hot, man. I tell you what, got several teams in the AP Top 25, and, of course, high school football, man, I tell you, things are turning around, and we have an opportunity to talk and meet. Now that we've had an opportunity to obviously go out to the games of the week, man, it's a whole different feeling.
A whole different feeling, DJ. I feel like I'm connected to the local high school scene, from Carver to Central. We've been there.
On the NFL front, our Falcons can't get out the gates, but you know what? It's a long season, Dale, and we have an opportunity to chop that up.
Chop that up. Not only the Falcons, DJ, we got to do the NFC South division.
And don't forget those Atlanta Braves, man. They are right where they need to be. All that and more coming up next on Sports Visions.
If you're even thinking about a new car, you've got to come to Headquarter Nissan.
Because right now, you can get the lowest payments of the year.
New Sentras from just $129 a month.
Altimas from just $159 a month.
And Rogues from just $169 a month. And all backed by our value plan featuring a lifetime warranty with an unlimited amount of time and miles and more. Lease for less. Columbus is a Nissan town.
Hello, everybody. I'm DJ Jones. You might know me from my athletic career at Carver High School, University of Georgia, or my sports broadcasting career. I know a lot of people. But when it comes to an attorney I trust, I call Forrest B. Johnson.
I'm Forrest Johnson of Forrest B. Johnson & Associates. And I want to let you know how proud we are to be a part of your community, a part of the Columbus community and the Phoenix, Alabama community. Consider us first. When you or any member of your family has been involved in an automobile accident, remember, car wreck, get a check.
Call now, 706-223-5380.
Call now.
And welcome back to Sports Visions, Dale, our high school games of the week, man. Thanks to our good partners out there, Academy Sports and Outdoors and Headquarter Nissan. I tell you, you know what, just a great feeling to be out amongst the high school football fans, and they're able to come up and touch us, shake hands, and tell us how much they enjoy the show, and we're able to break bread and have a cold glass of water with
cold glass of water. That water is good. But really, again, thanks for everybody that stopped by the tent. Again, it's a great meet and greet opportunity, kissing babies and shaking hands to everybody. But the good piece about it, DJ, we've been seeing some pretty good football, man.
Absolutely. We got a chance to see the Central Red Devils. I know that the Central Red Devils have been highly ranked, but, when you talk about Jamie DuBose and what they bring to the table, man, this is an ideal program. This is when you call it, when you want to put that file together to show the next team or the next coach, how it's done. Jamie DuBose has it done.
He has it done, DJ, and really, for their whole operation over there, from the Chris Blackshears of the world, we've been to a Central game, and really, we've been to Division I college games, and it's on that same tip. So really, if everybody takes that same template that Central has, I mean, really, they have a great program. Booster clubs involved, volunteers involved. They do it, DJ.
Game day operations are off the chain. That's basically what Dale is saying, from the music to when the team comes out on the field for pregame. It's outstanding. But again, you know what? That's what Central has been about. That's what they've done, and that's who they are.
That's who they are, DJ, and that's why we emphasize the fundraiser and the booster club operation, the volunteers that get involved, the parents to stay involved, not just at Central, all over the Chattahoochee Valley. If you have a good booster club and some good sponsors, you can do the same things that they're doing. Football game, the day of the operation, a lot of stuff goes on, from pregame meals to after the game meals, but really, they do a good job. And like I said, DJ, setting a great example on how to run a program.
Tell you what, we had a chance to see some excellent football games. I tell you, 2 weeks ago, we had the Carver-Hardaway game, and they know that Hardaway came in. Coach Wooldridge has done an outstanding job with his Hardaway Hawks team. But Coach Joyner, in his first year, man, he's jumped out here. He's established a culture that the kids have bought into. They're disciplined. And, of course, the alumni, the lettermen, and the boosters, they're getting on board. So Carver is off and running.
They're off and running, DJ. And, again, hats off to Coach Joyner, because one of the biggest things that we talked about, DJ, if you start off 0-2, you can tell your team has not bought into your program. you can tell that Joyner has his guys playing on the level that he needs them to play. Even with Coach Woodruff over at Hardaway, when you can start off 2-1, 3-1, really you want to say the first 4 games, if you're in good shape in those first 4 games, you got room to improve, and the kids have bought into the program.
Some other teams that obviously are coming through with some success. Columbus High School, I know Fritfield, Marino, he's taken a few bumps, but again, that team has definitely turned around for the good. Shaw has done well. Northside has also done well. Man, I'm looking for Spencer to turn the tides. It's still early in the season, and it's still early for these teams to make some moves. And I know Jordan, Coach Kegler got a big win a couple of weeks ago by beating Kendrick. But, you know, the bottom line is it's still early enough, Dale. We're just at week 4. You know, there's 6-7 more weeks left in the season. And again, you know what? If you've done what you're supposed to do over the summer as far as the conditioning and training, you know what? This is when it hits in, and again, your team could turn turn to the good, rather.
Well, you know, the good thing that we talked about, and we talked about it all through the summer, DJ, champions are made in the summer. The teams that are well-conditioned, you can kind of tell who they are because they close out the fourth quarter. If you can't play and keep the game close and pull it off in the fourth quarter, I guarantee you got a conditioning problem. But at the same time, there's a lot of football to be played. But one of the biggest things that I can say that, and we said this early on, parity. You know, you see, you know, everybody in the city has a pretty good team. One win is not going to mean that you don't win your region. And really, after what we saw last year, you can win 5-6 games, DJ. You're in the playoffs.
And before we go, I want to make sure that you know we have our football edition, Sports Vision, the magazine out. And, of course, we got a great story about the top high school football players in the area. We call it the Dandy Dozen. Of course, our good friend Jordan Hill wrote the article and, of course, has a beautiful picture of some of the top athletes in East Alabama and West Central Georgia as far as the football side of it. And coming up in not just a few months, man, I tell you, you know what? So it pays each and every week. Do your best because you'll have an opportunity to get honored at our 11th annual Columbus Valley Area High School Football Awards luncheon. That'll be Thursday, December the 13th. You'll have a lot more about that, or hear a lot more about that coming up real soon.
Can't wait for it, DJ. And really, like you said, if you want to make sure that you're at this banquet, if you're a player, continue to ball out, and I guarantee you'll be there. Fans, volunteers, if you want to be a sponsor of this event, just contact DJ at 706-681-1136, or you can contact Dale Williams at 706-681-5192.
All right, we'll take a short break. This is Sports Visions.
Give your gathering something to gather around. Try catering at Chick-fil-A.
Good morning, everyone. This is Devin here at Headquarters Nissan with the Sports Vision Network. Listen, I want to tell you guys about a special event we got going on. For the rest of this month, we have up to $6,000 off on Nissan Altimas. You heard me right, up to $6,000 off on Nissan Altimas. And if you want to roll, come on out to Headquarters Nissan. We're going to give you up to $5,000 off at Headquarters Nissan on Nissan Rogues. And guess what? We are rolling out the Nissan Kick, the new SUV, great gas saver. Guess what? Come out and test drive any Nissan Kick on a Saturday. And guess what? We're gonna have a special guest waiting here for you at Headquarters Nissan. So listen, come on down to Headquarters Nissan, the #1 retail store in the state of Georgia, and get your deal. You get a deal, you get a deal, everybody get a deal.
Broke my personal record.
Aflac?
No, good break. Good break.
I'm so sorry we can't make your barbecue. I'm just sick about it.
Aflac?
Different kind of sick. If I can't work after surgery, how am I gonna pay my rent? All these bills.
Aflac!
Oh, Aflac.
And they pay you cash in just one day.
See how Aflac helps cover everyday expenses at Aflac.com.
And welcome back to Sports Visions, DL College football. Again, it's into the second week. And again, the AP poll is out. The new one has Georgia in third place, followed by Clemson in second, and Alabama #1. When you talk about the top 10, we got several other SEC schools in. Auburn, I think, is checking in number 7, and LSU and Florida. I mean, it's a plethora of schools, man, but that SEC West, man, is off the chain.
It is off the chain, DJ, and like I say, you know, with 4 teams, you got Auburn, Alabama, Texas A&M, and LSU. That is a strong task, DJ, and you got Georgia in the East, and really, again, Georgia has another test. The Missouri piece is the question marks are still out for that, but really overall the SEC is representing.
Well, let's start with the Georgia Bulldogs. Right off the bat, obviously they were explosive over in Columbia, South Carolina. For all those naysayers over there, I think Georgia Bulldogs changed their minds, Dale, because they went over and totally dominated the Gamecocks and got out of there with an explosive victory.
I think really the way they started, and again, DJ, from Pop Warner to the NFL, you got to get off to a good start and you got to close like you want to close in the fourth quarter. Third quarter came around, DJ, and really we saw the power of Georgia offensive line. I think really when they sucked the running the ball when they came out after halftime, that set the tone for the rest of the game. I mean, DeAndre Swift, Holyfield, I mean, Henry, I mean, they had a great job, man. They did a great job. And even the Cook kid, he's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Georgia is playing really, really well. In fact, they're playing with so much confidence right now. It's almost scary to me because, like you said, the running game, that's what we said. The running game takes care of itself. That three-headed monster that you just mentioned, and then you talk about a quarterback that's efficient. Jake Fromm is efficient.
That's right.
He's a guy that he's accurate. And again, you can say what you want about Justin Fields. We love him, and I'm sure that there'll be times for him. But Jake Fromm right now is the guy that's going to lead this ship. He's the guy who actually led him to the SEC championship last year and, of course, into the national championship game. And, of course, with that much experience behind him and, of course, with that offensive line and those running backs and those skilled receivers, man, I'm looking forward to what the Bulldogs can do.
This is a good opportunity for Georgia to be able to work on some depth. And I think really by playing Middle Tennessee, they'll have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah. But also, when you talk about the Bulldogs, man, you just have to talk about, the guys up front. Ledbetter and all those guys up front, man. They are making it, easy for the guys on the back end to do their jobs.
Well, really, DJ, I look forward to seeing that defense getting better and better. Like you said, Jonathan Ledbetter did a great job. The Taylor kid, that 44 was everywhere. I see he has a lot of speed and kind of, he's not a Roquan Smith, but I think he's going to get there. But really, DeAndre Baker, LeCount, these guys are going to be good, DJ. As soon as they can get to a good game and make sure they got great depth, pass rush, attacks, they do all that.
All right, let's move right along over on the Plains where the Auburn Tigers had an opportunity to play Alabama State. Now, I know there were probably more fireworks going on off the field than on the field because I'm hearing about some of the things that have been going on with the students. But hopefully they'll get that under control. But, Gus Malzahn has found him some running backs, and I tell you what, he's found some very, very speedy and swift skill guys to go along with it. And you know what? You got to have those kind of athletes in that offense.
Well, DJ, we said all along, they got running backs at Auburn. They've always had running backs at Auburn. We just don't know their names yet. And I think we're beginning to know these guys' names. Gus is going to run an up-tempo offense, DJ. The defense is going to be stout. But I think really, again, this was a game that they can work on some of their depth and get some of their kinks out of their offense and then on the defensive side of the ball.
You're talking about Alabama State that, of course, they ran it up on them. But, the next game, obviously, the next opponent is one that they got to get it together real quick. They got to get it together.
They got to get it together. LSU's coming to town, and every time there's an Auburn-LSU game, it has significance in the sense whether you want to get rid of Gus after the game or before the game. Something gets ready to go down when Auburn and LSU plays. LSU, we're going to find out how really good they are to play over at Jordan-Hare Stadium in front of that crowd. Auburn really want to prove that they are number 7 in the country and even better. I think if they do a good job and really just dominate LSU, they'll move up in the polls, DJ.
Well, Ed Orgeron has a lot on the line, man, and I know each and every week that's what those kids hear in the locker room, what they hear in the practice field, and certainly that's what they're going to hear on the Plains because obviously, each and every game obviously is very important to LSU. Now, again, at the same time, Gus he knows that his rope is not that long either. And
That's
again,
right.
So he has to take care of business, and I think that they will. But Jarrett Stidham is still the main centerpiece in keeping that Auburn team focused and moving forward.
I think really Auburn will do well. Stidham's going to play a whole lot better. He's a big-time player, DJ. And one good thing I can say about Gus Malzahn, he is great at preparing his quarterbacks to play.
Absolutely. Now, Number one, Alabama voted again this week, of course, as the unanimous number one team in the country. And you know what? And the more I see of Tua, the better he looks, Dale.
Man, Tua looks great, DJ. There is no quarterback controversy. I think as long as he can continue to air the ball out, people can't stack the box, and I think it makes Alabama a well-rounded team, a more dangerous offensive team. And I think really until Nick gets his defense the way that he really wants to, this offensively, Tua is going to carry Alabama.
Explosive is the word that I use when Tua is behind center because, again, on any play, on any part of the field, they're a threat to score. And I tell you, that's why he is getting so much mention as far as a Heisman Trophy and somewhat of a front runner. And that's why, of course, Alabama remains number one each and every week. However, of course, this week, got a situation going down to Oxford, Mississippi. You and I both have played down there. It is going to be tough, and not only is it tough, the fact of the matter is that the new coach and the new team, they're showing folks that, they're not one to be pushed around.
Well, really, even with the Hugh Freeze piece, Hugh not being there anymore, he left the cupboard stacked. And, he's got players. Remember, DJ, he started to model his team after Alabama. And I think it's an opportunity for people to know that Ole Miss has a good team. They still have great personnel. It's going to be a trap game for Alabama, and really anything can happen down there in Oxford, Mississippi.
Last but not least, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets had an opportunity to take their show on the road. They went down to Tampa, played the University of South Florida, and I know that they were the Yellow Jackets were good enough to beat and compete with South Florida. However, they just couldn't close the deal.
They couldn't close the deal, DJ, and I think, again, Quan did a great job, DJ, again, being a leading rusher, but when he went out of the game with the little slight injury that he had, it stopped the momentum of the game. But really, hats off to the Oliver kid, the kid out of Warner Robins. He came in and did a stellar job. The one turnover that they had with Cersei, I think that turned the game all the way around.
A lot of speed from Charlie Strong's team, man. I tell you what, 2 kickoff returns, like a kid that broke that had to have been a record. But again, he was a 10.29 100-meter guy, and again, you could tell he was the fastest guy on the field by the way he ran both of those kickoffs back.
Really, man, special teams are everything. If you play special team, you better take it seriously because it can flip a game and it can take the momentum right out of another team. But really, for them to score on 2 kickoff returns, I think really that was the reason South Florida won.
All right, let's take a look at our Chick-fil-A picks of the week.
The picks of the week are Alabama against Ole Miss, Auburn against LSU, Georgia against Middle Tennessee State, and we got Georgia Tech will travel to Pittsburgh to play Pitt, Clemson against Georgia Southern, Washington State in a trap game will play Utah, TCU against Ohio State, and Wisconsin against BYU.
This is the HBCU football schedule for the weekend of September 15th, 2018. Howard will play Savannah State in Washington, D.C. at William Green Stadium at 1 p.m. Eastern. Lane will play Livingston in Jackson, Tennessee at Lane Field at 2 p.m. Central. Miles versus the Fort Valley State University Wildcats in Fairfield, Alabama at Albert J. Sloan Stadium at 3 p.m. Central. Florida A&M will battle Jackson State in Tallahassee, Florida at Bragg Memorial Stadium at 5 p.m. Eastern. Kennesaw State will go against the Alabama State Hornets in Kennesaw, Georgia at Fifth Third Bank Stadium at 5 p.m. Eastern. The Morehouse Maroon Tigers will battle Central State in Atlanta, Georgia at B.T. Harvey Stadium at 5 p.m. Eastern. The Southern Jaguars will take on the Langston Lions in Baton Rouge, Louisiana at A.W. Munford Stadium at 6 p.m. Central. And Clark Atlanta will play Tuskegee in the ATL at Panther Stadium at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm Amber Williams for the Sports Visions Radio Network.
Don't miss the annual Tuskegee Morehouse Football Classic, featuring the Morehouse Maroon Tigers versus the Tuskegee Golden Tigers. This is a cat fight you don't want to miss. Saturday, October the 6th at the A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium. Kickoff time is at 2 p.m. Be sure to check out all the Classic events, including the Classic cocktails and networking. Don't you dare miss the Classic parade, tailgating, and one of the largest vendor fairs around. That's the annual Tuskegee Morehouse Football Classic, the granddaddy of them all.
gathering something to gather around. Try catering at Chick-fil-A.
This is Academy Sports and Outdoors. We offer a huge sports and outdoors selection of top name brand gear like you've never seen. All at low prices like you've never seen. Because we're a sports and outdoor store like you've never seen. Until now. Now open in Columbus. Academy Sports and Outdoors, for all for less.
Building wealth is an innate desire we all possess. Whether you're raising a family, running a business, or starting a career, the best commitment you can possibly make today is to build wealth for your future. Now, more than ever, our innovation teamed with a personal approach to building wealth is the win we both are striving for. Trust in our commitment to help get you there. Citizens Trust Bank, a relationship you can bank on. Member FDIC.
And welcome back to Sports Vision. It's now time for our Atlanta Falcons report, Dale. And I tell you what, I am disappointed to let you know that our very first Falcon report is not a good one. However, there's a lot of football to be played.
It's a lot of football to be played, DJ. And like I said, the Falcons did not get off to a good start. They did not play brotherhood football. They played great on the defensive side of the ball, but they still have the same problem of not being able to score in the red zone.
And the Falcons started off the NFL season on Thursday night. Of course, they were the only show in town during that time, and the whole world had opportunity to see, of course, what Matt Ryan, the $150 million quarterback, didn't do. And I know that, again, like I said, there's a lot of football to be left to be played, and I know in order for the Falcons to play up to not only my expectations but yours as well, they're going to have to step it up, and I think that they will.
They got to step it up, DJ, and I think really, again, with the preseason and really having little time to do a lot of reps during the preseason, I think that hurts a team when it first starts the year. I think getting to game 4, if they can get into game 4, we'll be able to tell a little bit more about the Atlanta Falcons.
But right off the bat, though, obviously, and again this weekend as well, is that the Falcons have to do better in the red zone, Dale, because again that's been the thing the last year or so. Being able to convert, being able to score touchdowns, and being able for Julio Jones to score touchdowns in the red zone, that's the thing that will take the Falcons where they need to be.
That's going to be the biggest thing, DJ, and we probably had to talk about this on the radio show today, man, but I tell you this, DJ, you got to put Sanu at quarterback or something down in that end zone, because really sitting back there knowing Matt Ryan is not going to do anything back there in the pocket when you're inside goal line territory, nothing's going to happen. But like I said, the defensive team, the defensive side of the ball, played a great game, and really Devontae Freeman, we got to get a little bit more production from him from that standpoint. And really Julio, what can you say about Julio? But Sanu getting more involved, Ridley getting more involved. You got to spread that thing out, man.
Absolutely, man. I tell you what, just a terrible blow on the defensive side. Of course, our all-pro safety, Neal, he went down. He's going to be lost for the season, man. When you lose guys like that, and, of course, Dan Quinn was talking about, Neal being one of the leaders on the defense along with Deion Jones. But now he's gone. Again, it's next man up, and hopefully the Falcons will be able to overcome, the loss of such a big hitter, such a big leader.
Yeah, he's a great leader, DJ. But one good thing that Dan Quinn does in the whole organization, that they clone guys, and really nobody's probably going to be better than Neal. But at the same time, they got some people and they got some depth when it comes down to the secondary.
Now, again, we talked about this in the next game. The next game that the Falcons have, obviously, Matt Ryan has been beat up every way you can be. He had even extra days going into this week's game. But the bottom line is that I think that he's a pro. He's a former MVP. Matt Ryan is a player that can get it done, but we have to keep him clean. I keep acknowledging that. Keeping him clean. The linemen have to block, and just like they do for everybody else, but certainly for Matt Ryan.
Well, again, got room for improvement, and it's all on the offensive side of the ball. And then, DJ, when you run that zone read offense, it doesn't really take a lot of blocking. But where we come from, old school football, physical football, you got to have some big, nasty linemen. And I have not seen that with the Falcons yet. But like I said, maybe Steve Sarkisian can work this thing out and get the Atlanta Falcons offense rolling.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our NFL picks of the week.
All right, our NFL picks of the week, DJ. We got the Falcons against the Panthers. Eagles will play the Buccaneers. Chiefs at the Steelers. Vikings will play the Packers. The Patriots will travel to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars. Raiders will play the Denver Broncos. The Giants will play the Cowboys. Sports Vision, sponsored by Aflac, Chick-fil-A, Mel and Abe's, Styles by Denise, Jordan Girls, Taylor Funeral Home, Forrest B. Johnson and Associates, State Farm, Jimmy Watts Agency, and Dr. Jamie Winchester.
E&S Men's Clothing Warehouse has been your most trusted name in men's fashion for more than 50 years. We've offered the area's best selection of top quality, name brand suits, accessories, and casual wear at the most competitive prices around. Customer service is our top priority. We're the professionals generations have trusted for the best quality and absolutely the best deals. We are E&S Men's Clothing Warehouse. We are simply the best.
Hello, everybody. I'm DJ Jones. You might know me from my athletic career at Carver High School, University of Georgia, or my sports broadcasting career. I know a lot of people, but when it comes to an attorney I trust, I call Forrest B. Johnson.
I'm Forrest Johnson of Forrest B. Johnson and Associates. And I want to let you know how proud we are to be a part of your community, a part of the Columbus community and the Phoenix, Alabama community. Consider us first. When you or any member of your family has been involved in an automobile accident, remember, car wreck, get a check.
Call now, 706-223-5380.
Call now. And welcome back to today's final segment of Sports Visions. And, there's just a lot of good football going on in the NFL and the college ranks and on the high school circuit deal. And, like I said, how much can we congratulate our sponsors that make it happen for us to go out and do the high school games of the week?
I mean, man, Academy Sports and Outdoors has done a great job. Headquarters Nissan continues to do a great job with us. And I think really the people that stop by and say hello, they listen to us on radio, they watch the TV show, that makes us feel very, very good. And I think one of the biggest things about it, DJ, we're in the community and we're promoting high school football.
In addition to that, boy, this is the best place to be as far as college football fans. I mean, we're right here in East Alabama, West Central Georgia, Columbus, Phoenix City, Fort Benning area, where you have number 1 Alabama, you have, of course, number 3 Georgia, number 7 Auburn, and these are all the 3 teams in the SEC that we all love and follow. And those teams right now, are at the top of the heap.
And it's getting better and better, DJ. And as the SEC continues to get better and better, you heard this here before. I see the top 4 teams being from the SEC in a minute, DJ.
I'm not going to even get into that because, again, that's just that's not what the founders and all the creators of all of this great college football want.
Yeah, that's that's a radio subject that we'll talk about.
Exactly. But speaking of radio, I want you to make sure that you tune in every Monday and Thursday to WRCG 92.1, and that's the Sports Vision radio show. Dale and I get to chop it up a lot more than what you see here. We have some great guests, and of course, it's an opportunity for you to call in. That phone number is 706-324-1420. You can actually call in and join us live every Monday and Thursday from 4 to 6 on 92.1. Well, that's going to do it for all the sports we have for today. For Dale Williams, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball. Have a great week.
Be sure to check out our Facebook page, Sports Visions TV Show, or our website, www.sportsvisionsusa.com.